It feels weird to make a video with you. You're so, like, should we be holding hands?
No.
Hey yogis, welcome to the Yogic Body studio. In today's video, you might not just be a yogi, or maybe you don't even know that you are one yet. You might be a Jiu-Jitsu here practicing Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. In today's class, I'm going to be taking you through a yoga sequence that I know is sure to help you with both your flexibility and mobility. I myself, at the time of this recording, am a measly white belt. My husband here is a black belt in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, and you will see him flowing through the postures here in today's class, led by myself off camera. We're going to briefly introduce not only hip openers and low body openers, including some quad stretches here for the fronts of your legs, both of which are wonderful for guard retention, sure to help you with your flexibility and mobility here for lower body. But we're also going to be exploring opening up through our shoulders here. Wonderful if you find yourself consistently trapped in things like your Kimuras or Americanas. I want to provide you with a practice that is going to complement your jiu-jitsu. Not only something that you can do when you're not on the mats, but also something that you might do post jiu-jitsu to ensure that we stay open and mobile and flexible. You may also want to grab a hold of a spare belt or your belt to assist with some of these stretches. So you can use these not only behind your back for our shoulder opening, but also wrapped around your ankle for some of our quad opening as well. Let's get started. Join Tom all here in a child's pose. Big toes come to touch at the back of your mat. Knock your knees apart and walk your palms out long toward the top of your mat. Now you might notice that if you feel like a rock here in this pose, no worries. You can simply tent up on your fingertips and raise your forehead up off the mat as well, simply looking forward. But if you feel okay, soften your shoulders, your chest, your forehead to the mat, and place your palms, your forearms to the mat as well. So there already is a modification for my yogis here on the mat who are just beginning. Walk your palms a little further toward the top of your mat, getting a little more space here through the back body. Pull your forehead up off the mat, nice, and rock forward just a hair, wonderful. So again, rest your forearms, your forehead to the mat, softening here, and just take a deep breath in. And exhale out as you, with a little more gusto here, sink your chest toward the mat, nice. Another deep breath in, and exhale. And then join me, yogis, tent up on your fingertips, look toward the top of your mat, shift forward. For some, you might come through a high to low plank transition. We're coming down to our belly. Here on your belly, coming into a shoulder stretch. Goal post your right arm, tenting up on your left fingertips, left elbow raises up off the mat, forehead can rest if you'd like, and roll over your right hip. So left hip comes up off the mat. Left toes over to the right. And for some, again, this might be gentle, might be intense, but we're stretching here through the shoulder. Just taking several rounds of deep breath here, softening through shoulders, neck, and jaw. Continuing to breathe, deep breath in, and a complete breath out. Another deep breath. And exhale as you unwind back to center, coming through a quad stretch here, reaching for your back left ankle. So just a nice little cross grip here. Taking a deep breath in and a breath out. For my yogis, my Jiu-Jitteros who notice that maybe this is a little difficult, you might always, if you'd like, grab your belt here to assist. Just keeping your belt, if you'd like, in your palms, wrapping your belt around your ankle, and slowly unwinding back to center for the opposite side. So come down to your shoulders, your belly, your forehead. Unclench your toes here, releasing tops of the feet to the mat. Tenting up on your right fingertips as you goal post your left arm. Right hip comes up off the mat as right toes roll over to the left. And again, all a nice modification here should you ever like. If goal posting your arm is just too intense, you can always guide your wrist straight out from your shoulder. But here we are with our palm goal posted, tenting up on our fingers. Another deep breath in. Exhale to your quad stretch. Right hip comes down to the mat if you'd like. Set it up however you want, grabbing your right ankle. You can roll back over, right hip off the mat. Another deep breath here. And an exhale, let's all unwind. Come on back through to child's pose. Pushing up high plank. Big toes touch, hips to heels. You guys know what to do. Walk your palms out long, softening shoulders. Preparing yogis for your toe stand. So walk your palms back toward your knees, shoulders over hips. And yes, our toes are still tucked under. So considering here how often our toes are active in our jiu-jitsu practice, or at least how often we need them to be active, right? To push ourselves up off the mat in defense and offense. So here in our toe stand, we're feeling that intense stretch here along the soles of our feet. Now for some, you might like an additional shoulder stretch with your palms coming to meet at your low back. You can also bring your strap here into your palms or across your palms if you'd like. Stacking shoulders over hips, gently pull your palms down your low back, proud chest forward. Unclench your jaw. And then exhale as you come to down dog. So diving your palms forward, hips come high, push the mat away. An upside down V here with the body. You can pedal out your feet. Grow heavy through one heel, bend through the opposite knee. From down dog, yogis, step your right foot forward for a warrior one base. So that just means that our hips are squared to the front of the mat. That might mean that you widen your stance. So taking your right toes a little closer to the right side of your mat, left toes toward the left. Wonderful. See if you can actively square right hip back, left hip forward. For humble warrior, palms come to clasp at your low back. Inhale, baby back bend, look up. And exhale as you fold, drawing your right shoulder toward your right knee. Palms can reach up high overhead if you'd like. Square your chest here with the mat. Wonderful. And again, yogis, if you feel like a rock here, you can always take your strap in your palms. Take a deep breath here. On exhale out as your palms come to frame your right foot for crescent lunge. So palms come to frame your foot here, looking toward the front of your mat, and draw your back left heel up off the mat. So we're just on our toes, yeah? Crescent lunge. Turning your left hip toward the front. Goal post your arms as you raise on up for crescent lunge. A little balance involved. Keep your focus here. A deep breath in. Again, goal posting our arms is assisting here to stretch through our upper body. Take a twist. Left palm to the instep of your right foot. Right palm up high. Wonderful. Right palm reaches up. A twist here. And an exhale as you come to lizard pose. Both palms at the instep of your right foot. Heel toe your right toes toward the right side of your mat. Left knee comes down to the mat if you'd like. Again, proud chest forward. So draw your chest forward. Wonderful. You can tuck chin toward chest, releasing tension here from cervical spine. A deep breath in. And an exhale, we'll meet back in down dog, coming into this sequence here on the opposite side. Hips come high, pedal it out, a deep breath here. Preparing for humble warrior as your left foot steps up in between your hands. Setting up first for warrior one. Raising on up, and then palms meet at your low back for humble warrior. Inhale, look up, proud chest forward, baby back bend, and exhale as you fold. Drawing your left shoulder toward left knee, palms can reach overhead. Continuing to breathe here all. Proud chest forward, so grow a little taller here through neck and spine. Wonderful. Bending through that front left knee. Take a deep breath. Exhale, palms come to frame your left foot, setting up for your crescent lunge. Back heel lifts up off the mat, high on our toes. Goal post your arms. Take a twist, right palm to the instep of left foot. Finding lizard pose, both palms at the instep of your left foot, heel toe, left toes off the mat. Back knee can come down as you guide your chest forward. From here, yogis, come to tabletop. So coming to all fours, hands and knees. Knees are stacked under hips and wrists are under shoulders. Find cat-cow here. You can uncurl your toes, placing the tops of your feet on the mat. Draw your chest forward here for cow pose. And exhale, belly pulls up and in. Push the mat away like a Halloween cat pose. One more round here. Cat-cow transition. And then coming back through a neutral spine, let's find a three-legged tabletop here. So just guide your right foot up, taking knee circles, ankle circles. Then the left-hand side. Joining me now, yogis, as we come to reclined. So find your favorite way to come down to your back. Reclining on back here for happy baby pose. Now, yogis, I like to grab the outstep of my thighs simply because I can never grab my toes, but it's up to you. If you can grab your toes or the outstep of your feet, you can, or you can always grab your thighs. We're drawing our knees in toward the crux of our arms here, in toward our armpits. So our thighs are parallel with the top of our mat, and our feet are parallel with the ceiling. Softening here through low back as it stamps down to the mat, drawing our knees toward our chest for that guard retention. Take another deep breath here. And then coming into half happy baby. So keeping your right foot just where it is, extending your left leg long, letting go of your left leg as it rests down to the mat. Half happy baby, a deep breath in. And then simply guiding knee toward chest. So release your grip here from your toes if that's where it is. Placing your palm here to your shin, gently pulling your knee in toward your chest. And then finding figure four. So here in figure four, place your left foot to the mat or raise it on up if you'd like. You can also extend your left leg straight and up high toward the ceiling. And all we're doing here is actively hugging our leg package, right? This figure four in toward our chest, while equally, mind-body connection, pushing our right knee away from us. So much going on in this posture. Taking another deep breath here. Keeping your legs just as they are, but bend through your left knee and place your sole of your left foot onto the mat. Taking a spinal twist as your legs drop on over to the right-hand side. So we're using our top right ankle almost like a fulcrum here to gently open up through low back. And then slowly unwind back through center, placing both feet onto the mat as you bend your knees. Heel toe your toes away from one another, left toes toward the left, right toes toward the right, and drop your legs now over toward the right-hand side. So here we're again feeling this gentle low back opening, this gentle twist, while also opening through the quad, that left quad. For my yogis here on the mat who might want a little more out of this, you can nudge your left heel toward your hips. This is going to intensify that stretch, something you can also use your belt for. And yogis, come on back through to center here as you take this on the opposite side. First coming through reclined happy baby. Continuing to breathe, softening as you stamp your low back here down to the mat. Let go of that tension you're holding here through shoulders, neck, and jaw. Let your top and bottom sets of teeth gently fall away from one another. Unfurrow your brow. Finding half happy baby on the opposite side. Right leg extends long down toward your mat. A deep breath here. Soften on the exhale. Knee to chest. Simply placing your palms to the top of your shin. Finding with me now figure 4 on this side. You can also extend your right leg up high if you need a little more. And from here, I'll again release your right foot down to the mat, bending through right knee. Spinal twist to the opposite side. Legs drop on over to the left. Gentle low back opening, using your left ankle as a fulcrum here. And let's all slowly unwind now back through to center, placing both feet onto the mat, heel toe your toes away from one another. And drop your knees to the opposite side. If you need to and you want a little more out of this, you can also guide your right heel toward your hip, opening through the quad. And now, yogis, with all that said, the mother of all poses that I recommend for your jiu-jitsu practice, let's unwind back through to center, preparing for our half plow. So in our half plow, place your palms actively onto the mat here at your sides. And with breath, so we're not necessarily kicking our legs up over our head, but with breath, guide your legs up. You can bend through your knees if you'd like. And then use your palms here again to push atop the mat as your hips come just over your shoulders, so to speak. So hips are up high. Now you can keep your knees bent. You can rest your toes on the mat. Wonderful here for any of us that find ourselves in an inverted position, maintaining that guard, or maybe even being stacked, yeah? Taking another deep breath here. And then with control, unwinding back to our happy baby pose. Neutralizing through low back as it stamps down to the mat. Rocking, if you'd like, from side to side. And then extending your legs long to opposite corners of your mat. Palms face up at your sides. Tucking chin to neutral, softening here through low back and belly. And knowing now that you can take any and all poses that you need to end your practice here before fighting the good fight and getting back to your jiu-jitsu practice. And with that said, let's give a big round of applause for my dear Tom here. And yogis, I'll see you back on the mat in a second. All right, final words. Yogis, Jiu-Jitteros, thank you for joining us here on the mat. And again, big round of applause for my dear Tom here assisting with class today. I'm going to pass the mic as if we were newscasters here, but I'm going to pass the mic to Tom to let us know any final thoughts that he has for integrating a yoga practice as a nice complement to your jiu-jitsu. Tom?
Hey guys, so I hear a lot of times people saying that they don't have good guards. There's a couple things that you need for good guard. You need to be flexible. So if you guys are rolling, I'm sure everybody has the few partners in the gym who are super flexible, and that alone makes their guard really difficult to pass. The other thing that you need is grip strength. If you have both of those things, you're going to have a really good guard. If you have one of those things, you can have a good guard. If you don't have either of those things, it's going to be really difficult for you guys to play a really effective guard. Just like anything, people think that, oh, you're just born flexible. And that is true for some people. But like with anything, guys, you have to put in the work. So if you're somebody who's not flexible, that doesn't mean you just ignore the flexibility aspect of jiu-jitsu and only play your top positions. You have to be well-rounded, you have to do it all, and you have to make sure that you're working on this. Yoga is probably one of the best ways to do that, to increase your mobility, increase your flexibility in these positions. You guys saw there a lot of those positions you're in jiu-jitsu all the time, right? Being stacked and plow, being able to get your knees into your chest, right? That's the most important part of having a flexible guard is that ability to ball up and to use your legs to keep somebody away. So make sure you guys are adding yoga into your practice, especially if you are one of those BJJ practitioners who isn't as flexible as you would like to be, which is, I would say, the norm, not the small exception of people who are just born flexible.
Don't feel discouraged. If you feel like I will never know how to do yoga, I'll never be flexible or mobile, it comes with practice. Do we end with an om or an os?
Also,
okay, I'm going to just cut to an os. Are you ready? 3.
No.
See y'all. I feel like I should have this tied.
That looks silly.
I'm done. I'm sorry.